and let's work together for a better future. And the Prime Minister has stepped down, he said, and that there will be decisions made. He is now taking questions. Let's listen in.
ছাত্রদেরকে একটা সুন্দর বার্তাও দিয়েছেন এবং আমি আশা করি যে ছাত্ররা সেই বার্তা শুনে ওনার কথা ওনাকে সবাই শ্রদ্ধা করে, ছাত্ররা শ্রদ্ধা করে, ওনার এই বার্তা শুনে তারা এই পরিস্থিতি নিয়ন্ত্রণে নিয়ে চলে আসবে এবং আমরা একটা সুন্দর একটা পরিস্থিতির দিকে আমরা এগিয়ে যাব ইনশাআল্লাহ। এখানে আওয়ামী লীগের কেউ ছিল না, আওয়ামী লীগের কেউ ছিল না। হ্যাঁ, আজকে বিকজ আমাদের এই সময় নাই, এটা একটা বিশেষ একটা পরিস্থিতি, আমরা আজকে যে এই পরিস্থিতি এটা একটা আমরা একটা নিয়ন্ত্রণ নিয়ে আসবো। সেনাবাহিনী শান্তি শৃঙ্খলা বজায় রাখার কাজ চালিয়ে যাবে এবং আপনাদের সবার দায়িত্ব, ছাত্রদের দায়িত্ব, রাজনৈতিক নেতৃবৃন্দ এবং রাজনৈতিক কর্মীদের দায়িত্ব হচ্ছে সেনাবাহিনীকে সাহায্য করা এবং আপনারা মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে আমাদেরকে এই যে একটু আমাদের সাহায্য করেন, সুতরাং আমরা তাহলে এই পরিস্থিতি নিয়ন্ত্রণ সহজেই নিয়ে আসতে পারব। না, যদি জিনিসটা শান্ত হয়ে যায় তাহলে আর কারফিউর কোনো প্রয়োজন নাই, কোনো জরুরি অবস্থার প্রয়োজন নাই, কোনো কারফিউর প্রয়োজন নাই, কোনো গোলাগুলির প্রয়োজন নাই। আমি আদেশ দিয়ে দিয়েছি সেনাবাহিনী কোনো গোলাগুলি করবে না, পুলিশ কোনো গোলাগুলি করবে না। আমি আশা করছি যে আমার এই বক্তব্যের পরে পরিস্থিতি উন্নতি হবে, আমরা একটা সুন্দর পরিবেশের দিকে যাচ্ছি। আমরা এটা না, আমি আজকে রাতের মধ্যে একটা আমরা সলিউশনে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করবো, বাট আমাদের হয়তো 2-1 দিন সময় দিতে হবে। এটা আমরা এখনো এটা টু আর্লি, আমরা যাচ্ছি যে আমরা কথা বলবো মহামান্য রাষ্ট্রপতির সাথে, আমরা একটা সুন্দর সলিউশনে আমরা পৌঁছবো। পরিস্থিতি ছিল খুব কম, সময় খুব কম ছিল। আমি যাদেরকে পেয়েছি অনেককেই আমি বলেছি, সবাই হতেন, বাট প্রধান রাজনৈতিক দলের সমস্ত নেতৃস্থানীয় নেতৃবৃন্দরা তাদের সাথে আমি কথা বলেছি এবং ওনারা সবাই আমাদের এই প্রস্তাবে, এই যে আমরা যে আলোচনা করছি, সবাই এটাতে রাজি হয়েছে। এখানে মমিনুল হক সাহেব ছিলেন, এখানে জামাতের আমির ছিলেন, জুনায়েদ সাকি উনি ছিলেন, তারপরে ডক্টর আসিফ নজরুল ছিলেন। আমরা সবাই মিলে এবং সবাই আমরা এটাতে একমত পোষণ করেছি। এখন ছাত্রদের কাজ হচ্ছে যে শান্ত হওয়া এবং আমাদেরকে সাহায্য করা। আমার এই বক্তব্যের আসিফ নজরুলকে রিকোয়েস্ট করেছি, যেহেতু ওনাকে ছাত্ররা শ্রদ্ধা করেন এবং উনিও একটা সুন্দর একটা ভিডিও মেসেজ উনি দিয়েছেন, ছাত্রদের জন্য। আমি আশা করব যে এই ভিডিও মেসেজটাও কাজে হবে, কাজ দিবে। এইভাবে আমরা কাজ করে দেব। সবাই ভালো থাকেন, সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। এখানে আপনারা যত প্রশ্ন করতে থাকবেন আমাকে দেরি করাবেন, ইট ইজ টু আর্লি। আমরা কাজ করছি, আমাদের একটু কাজ করতে দেন, একটু সময় দেন, আমরা একটা সলিউশনের মধ্যে আমরা যাব ইনশাআল্লাহ। হ্যাঁ, আপনারা সবাই যারা আন্দোলনরত, যারা ছাত্ররা আছেন, আন্দোলনরত যত লোকজন আছেন, দয়া করে ঘরে ফিরে যান। সবাই ভালো থাকেন, আল্লাহ আমাদের মঙ্গল করুক। আল্লাহ হাফেজ।
All right, the Army Chief there taking some questions as well during that press conference, a brief press conference. But to sum it up, essentially he said that there will be an interim government that will be formed soon, and all the demands of the protesters will be discussed at length. And he also asking the protesters to go home, that there will be no more action that will be taken against the protesters. Let's work together for a better future, he said. and if we work together, we can overcome the present situation. He also, of course, confirmed that Sheikh Hasina has resigned, that there will be an interim government that will be put in place. He also said, I take responsibility. A significant statement there obviously means that the army is in command at the moment during that political vacuum there. I also want to just bring our viewers to another update that's coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs here in India, where it has released a press statement saying that in view of the ongoing developments, the Indian nationals are strongly advised against travelling to Bangladesh till further notice. Siddhant Sibal is joining us on the phone line for the very latest on this. Siddhant, so quick developments there in Bangladesh, the army holding a press conference, the Sheikh Hasina and her sister here in India, and of course the MEA releasing that press statement to Indian nationals advising caution.
Well, of course, India has been releasing these advisories for its people in Bangladesh. In fact, we know that India has been playing an important role in terms of evacuation of its nationals and other nationals in the region as well. But let me tell you that this advisory was issued yesterday night, and we know that there are roughly around 15,000 Indians, of which 8,000 have been brought back to the country over the past few weeks. These are students who wanted a safe place. Now, essentially, if we talk about what's happened, we saw that press conference, and you have summed it up as well, clearly the big announcements, but it will have far-reaching impact in the region, and especially for India. And also, a big question remains on the interim government that has been announced. When this interim government will take charge, who will be the components of these interim government, and will the Awami League, that is the ruling party of Sheikh Hasina, will that be also part of the interim government, is the big question. Well, of course, the army is in control. There's also a question of how long the army will be in control, given the fact that Bangladesh has had its own share of military rule as well. So there are several questions right now, but the development is very fresh. Just the last 2 hours have been quite dramatic. We have seen the visuals also. We all have scenes of the protests and, of course, storming of the Prime Minister's residence as well. But the big focus for the army right now will be bringing a semblance in Bangladesh, in Dhaka as well, after the violence of last few weeks, especially yesterday's violence, in which over 50 people died as well. Of course, stakes are high for India. Bangladesh, of course, was a country with which India shares a civilizational relationship, a relationship of people-to-people relationship. So these are questions that India will be assessing as well. The whereabouts, of course, of Sheikh Hasina are yet not officially known, though reports say that she might have landed in Agartala, which is a city in northeast of India. So there can be, of course, assessments as to how long she can stay in Agartala as well. And, of course, I would like to point out a historical note as well, that Sheikh Hasina was given refuge by the Indira Gandhi government for considerable time after her father was assassinated. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated, and she, of course, stayed here in Delhi for considerable time, and she also used to travel to Nizamuddin Dargah as well regularly. So there are historic connects with the Sheikh Hasina family, which India has, and India has nurtured that. But it is a pivotal moment in Bangladesh's history. What next is the question that is on the mind of everyone from Dhaka to New Delhi.
Absolutely. There will be a lot of stock taking here in New Delhi as well, as Sheikh Hasina has landed in India. And Hasina, remember, has been an old friend of India, of course. She's been in power for several years now, since 2009. In fact, in January, she was re-elected as the Prime Minister, an election that was boycotted by the main opposition, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which said that the Hasina government was pro-India. There are, of course, regional ramifications to anything that happens on such a large scale in India's neighborhood. But in fact, on Sunday, the government had declared an indefinite nationwide curfew starting at 6 p.m. on Sunday, the first such step during the current wave of protests. Now, the 3-day general holiday was announced starting Monday. Additionally, the government had also shut down internet services, but none of this had, of course, stopped protesters from storming several public places, as well as homes of leaders, political leaders, and police stations as well. In fact, the security situation was extremely extremely fragile this morning as well when Sheikh Hasina fled her premises for a safer zone. Demonstrators blocked major highways and launched a non-cooperation program, escalating the violence nationwide. And police stations and ruling party offices were also targeted. 13 policemen were also killed, and homes of 2 lawmakers were set on fire earlier on in the clash as well during these protests that have gone on for weeks. Now, the unrest was not confined, in fact, to Dhaka alone and spread across the country. In the central district of Munsiganj, 2 construction workers had been killed, but in all 98 people have died. And of course, all of this began with the government's quota system, which protesters called unfair. Sheikh Hasina, of course, has been in power since 2009 and has been seen as a very strong political leader from this region, from South Asia, in 2 separate terms, and in 20 years in between that she has been Prime Minister. The ongoing protests have marked certainly a blotch on her political career, which has seen over 300 people killed. And this has been, of course, Hasina's biggest test, which has landed her in troubled waters. She has had to flee, she has had to resign. What happens next in Bangladesh will be, of course, keenly watched. The next couple of days and weeks will be crucial as the army has stepped in. At the moment, there will be an interim government. The opposition parties have been called for discussion, we believe, and as our guest early on the show had said and pointed out, that the Awami League has not, in fact, been called for those discussions on the government formation, presumably. All of this, of course, started with protests last month on the quota system, which has snowballed since then into mass demonstrations against the Hasina government. The 76-year-old has resigned and left Bangladesh. The violence marked the deadliest days in Bangladesh's recent history, surpassing the 67 deaths reported on July 19th earlier when students protested against the quota system. All in all, earlier we also saw visuals of that helicopter leaving Dhaka for India. At the moment, we don't have an official word from the Indian government, but several sources indicating that Sheikh Hasina is somewhere in India. It could possibly be Agartala or some in West Bengal. Hasina has shared a long relationship with India, going back all the way to her father's assassination. The protests which began, and let's just go back to how all of this started as we see those visuals continuing, as we continue to see those visuals coming in from Bangladesh. The protests which began late last month escalated dramatically with student activists at the Dhaka University, the largest in the country, clashing violently with police and pro-government counter-protesters. The roots of these protests lay in the controversial quota system, which reserved up to 30% of government jobs for family members or veterans from Bangladesh's 1971 War of Independence against Pakistan. Now, protesters argued that the system was discriminatory and favoured supporters of Prime Minister Hasina's Awami League party. They advocated for a merit-based system to replace the existing quota. And as I was pointing out earlier, those are visuals on your screens earlier of that chopper of Sheikh Hasina leaving Bangladesh. Siddhant Sibal continues to be with us on the phone line. And Siddhant, any more word expected from the Indian government on Hasina landing in India? I presume that as the day proceeds, we will have more confirmation of what's happening here.
Well, no comment from the Indian government. I do not expect the Indian government to also make a comment for next few days. This is a really precarious situation, and there's a lot of bad ill will for Sheikh Hasina in Bangladesh as well. So she right now, to use a phrase, she's radioactive right now in many senses. So I do not expect foreign governments to react. But what I can confirm right now, which official sources have told me, that she's on her way to London via India. We know that earlier reports emerged that she's heading towards India. That, of course, looks true. And now she's heading towards London as well. She has family as well there. But all in all, we know that everyone right now is making their own assessments on the situation, how it will pan out, how it will impact, whether it's India, whether it's Japan, or whether it's the region. We know that the Bangladesh plays an important role in India's Act East policy and also the BIMSTEC grouping. In fact, the BIMSTEC summit is expected to take place in a month from now, from 4th of September. Sheikh Hasina is no longer the Prime Minister. So who will be the Prime Minister and represent the government is something that will be closely watched. And will the army rule continue is another question. But all in all, if we talk about India-Bangladesh relationship, it was termed as the golden relationship, Sonali Adhyay of the relationship, connectivity, people-to-people relationship, new visa centers, new trains being started, and of course, military engagement. In fact, this week, in fact, tomorrow, Tarang Shakti exercises will start in India's southern state of Tamil Nadu, where Bangladesh representation is expected to happen. Now, the big question is, will there be a question? Is something that everyone will be watching. So everyone will be gauging as to how it pans out. But right now, the big question is, who is next Prime Minister? What kind of interim government we are looking at when it comes to Bangladesh? This is a country that has a major role in global affairs as well, given its long its history in terms of playing an important role in the region and outside as well.
So, Siddhant, stay with us. We're also being joined by Haroon Habib, Bangladesh Liberation War veteran. Mr. Habib, can you throw some more light on what's happening at the moment in Bangladesh? We know that the army chief has held a press conference where he has announced that an interim government will be running Bangladesh for the moment. Can you throw more light on what happens constitutionally, legally going forward in the next couple of weeks?
Well, you know, it is a month-long agitation and almost a month-long agitation, and situation today, especially after Army Chief General Waqar-ud-Zaman's address to the nation, we think that situation will calm down drastically. When he announced that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has tendered his resignation. On the other hand, he announced that there will be an interim government, and he called some top political party leaders, including the civil society representatives, at a meeting at the army headquarters. That is what he said in his address. And there was an exception that there was nobody from the ruling Awami League party. But he said that there was a time was very short and he could not invite, they could not be traced anywhere. But he said one thing very specific, that